Embrace innovation. Realize the competitive advantage in business. Learn to master innovation project management in 6 weeks. This training initiative will enable you to master innovation management, master design thinking for ideation, enhance workflow performance, enhance productivity, and enhance your business profitability. Register now. Contact us for more info at 868-715-7383. Presenters are Shivani Seunarine, Director of Borderlink Resource, and Caribbean Connect, Lecturer and Serial Entrepreneur, Facilities Management Practitioner, and Herman J. Hertbert, Founder, Director of Faciltech, Executive Member, Trinidad and Tobago Plumbing Association. Realize your business competitive advantage. Embrace innovation today.
Welcome to another episode of Habits and Money. Today we're going to be interviewing a very dynamic personality. This personality happens to be a lecturer at one of the top universities in the Caribbean, a serial entrepreneur, and a project management practitioner. I want to say to you that you have a whole lot to learn. So I want to encourage you to get settled in for some wisdom and information that can really help to transform the way you do business. So I want to encourage you to join me in welcoming no other than Shivani Seunarine. How are you, Shivani?
Always nice to be chatting with you, Gary. 2
The
p.m. for me.
Yes, the pleasure is always mine. And I must say, it's always a pleasure to be talking with you because I know that you have so much of information and you have achieved so much in your life. And you're a woman. So I think that you are definitely an ambassador for women because of the fact that you have achieved so much in your life. I want us to begin by briefly looking at a major event that you have coming up on May 29th. On May 29th, you're going to be launching a major initiative titled Embrace Innovation 2024. That's going to be a 6-week program. And I know that that program is all set to really help rising stars in business to understand the importance of innovation and how they can adopt innovation into their business as a way of achieving the competitive advantage. We're going to talk about that just now and so much more as it relates to that project. So I want to encourage the public to settle in. You want to learn about innovation. You want to learn it from Shivani's standpoint as a project management practitioner. So I want to encourage you to just settle it. But just before we get into the major event that is going to be coming up on May 29th, I want to talk with you, Shivani. I want to talk with you about habits. What are those essential habits that can influence your success? And I ask you this because I know that you have years of experience doing what you're doing, and you would have had to form the right habits. You would have had to practice the right habits. And I want my audience to learn from you. What are those essential habits that they can use for success?
Thanks, Gary. Now, what is coming to my mind immediately when you ask me this question? In projects, general operations, in facilities management, really, this is the idea that I'm coming from, where you have a lot of different maintenance activities to do. So over the years, there's a sequence to do it. You get your budget, you have the resources, you have enough people to do it. And you simply do what? You simply execute, right? So you plan what is the budget to manage all these buildings, and you are able to do it with the resources. So it's all properly managed. Over time, things have changed. Things change in the sense that you will not get in that budget again. Your resources are cut in half, actually a quarter. You're not going to be outsourcing as much because you're not paying. You don't have the money. So what do you do in situations like this? And the habit that needed to be formed, really, and it only comes, like I was talking to my team about it during the week, actually, in one of the meetings. Because are we to be blamed when we can't perform? Because Management 101 will tell us, give us the tools and we will execute. If you don't give me the tools, I cannot execute. So, there's a lot of conversation about it. So I could say, okay, well, it's management's problem. Executive management is not giving me the monies to do what I have to do. And many persons will face this type of environment, So what do we do? As I said, what do? We had to come up with so many different ways now to try to solve. Some were successful and some really were unsuccessful. Now, the habit that I formed really as a supervisor, as a manager in this case, as a leader, leading people, was to develop my coaching skills. Because no, you imagine you're asking somebody to do something now to execute a job that they would have gotten about 3 persons to assist them with. Not one person got to do it. The work of 3 persons. So how do we, as supervisors, as managers, as leaders, now change the game? Because are we to be blamed? Is the person to be blamed? The end result is that you want to do the job. So a habit that needed to be developed by me was to influence via the coaching method. And I would say it really works. And you have to develop this always. How you coach and having conversations. So it's a lot of trust. You're building a community. So that was one of the habits that I needed to form over a period of time, because it was different from me in the beginning. I really didn't have to use these different creative problem solving and coaching methods. I have the money. This is what you have to do. You are a subject matter expert. And bam, we went and we did the job. But now there's a change. And as I said to people, what do you do in these situations? How do you pivot? Do we continuously say we just can't do it? Management, you are wrong. Or could we now use a concept of out of crisis, there's opportunity. Out of crisis, there's opportunity. And what developed for me was better coaching practices, coaching skills. And then, I was able to do training around that then. It wasn't something that I was doing before, because the training or the teaching, that wasn't part of my my suite of programs and that I teach. But because of that ability now, I'm able to design now new content around something that happened with me during what I do, my normal job. And I saw it that many other managers need to learn this. So it's one of a practical example that really works, that you just don't want to say you can't do anything. So it was a habit to form, right? Because I didn't have to form it. I could have just said, I can't do this. I can't do this work. You're not giving me the tools. You're not giving me the tools to do the job. So we came up with concepts, Gary. And I think it's such a good way to think, because when you do that, you are now changing the game for yourself. We keep thinking it's for the organization and the organization wrong and the organization wrong. What I tell people, they may be wrong, but how do we function? It's all about me and you in a bigger picture, and that's what we looked at and formed different ideas. And a lot of savings actually came about from that concept, because we were able to say, well, what should I do? I'm not getting money to do this. All right, well, we could do this instead. And, if we probably had the money, we would have never thought about that, so we were able to do better savings. And I came about with something better for myself also. I was able to design training around coaching for facilities managers as well. So it worked out good for me. But if I didn't really, Gary, if I didn't really think about it and say, I'm not so bad about this, they're wrong, I wouldn't have come about with something good for myself and even good for my people.
Right. Now, what I love about what you said in terms of the habit is that you have leveraged your ability to coach as a way of influencing people. And I like that, because to me, that approach is different from the autocratic leadership. It's different from the democratic leadership. It's different from the paternalistic leadership. But sometimes when you are in a leadership position, you just say, get this done and get it done now. Mm-hmm. But I see that from what you have said, that coaching approach to influence people is more you're like a mentor. It's more like you're like, they said, this is how we do it. And you're giving them that support to ensure that they can effectively execute. And I must say, it's a brilliant approach. And I trust that that's something for the public to take away from. Something that I see happens very often, Shivani, I don't know if you identify with this. There are many persons today that struggle to define what is success. And what I would say to my team is that there is small success, there is medium success, and there is large and major accomplishment, all of which can fall into the category of success. But how would you define success?
Now, success for me, I want to say depends on the day. I don't know what I want to achieve, because every day is something different for me. Generally, success for me will be defined by not doing the same thing. And it's not a linear way, as I keep saying to people, anybody. Success for me is achieving many different, learning new things and getting out of my comfort zone. So that's how I really look at success from a professional way. So from a professional way, it's learning new things, going into new functions, new roles, and not only saying, okay, I'm a facilities manager or I'm an HR manager, but different roles that I want to look at. So that's how success is. So if I look back at my career, and I don't think I'll ever retire, right? Because I'll always be doing something. But if I look back 20 years from now, I'm trying to tell you 20 years from now, I might reach retirement age, Gary. So you're trying to figure out, right? If I close to that, right? So I'm saying then to myself, 20 years from now, when I look back and I do retrospectives and lessons learned, as you and I keep talking about, what are our lessons learned? Did I achieve many different things? It can't just be one part. Curriculum design, it got to be many things. So that's how I look at success. Now, I also look at success in terms of a lot with family. So it can't just be, looking at success as growing in your particular field alone, professional. But I'm a project. That's how we have to look at ourselves. And the project will have different parts. So you have personal life as well. I like to have connections with people. So success for me is looking at connections. The more connections I have, the better for me. Someone told me recently about the 8 minutes. People just need help or to talk to someone for 8 minutes. Someone said it online, 8 minutes. And that is such a true statement, and I'm about to do it because it gave me an idea. I didn't do it as yet, which is known as the 8 minute, I'm going to design something, the 8 minute call. And, I'm going to tell my people, I said, hey, we all may have, just want to chat with me. You want to chat, we want to chat with each other. You don't have to chat with me alone. We're going to say, anybody have any challenge, any issues, 8 minutes. We need you for 8 minutes. We need you for 8 minutes. So success is about connections for me. Connections also.
I like that. Now, before we take a look at the major event you have coming up in May, I want to talk to you a little bit about your blueprint for success. You are a lecturer at one of the top universities in the Caribbean. That for me is a major milestone that you have accomplished. You are a serial entrepreneur. You play a very tremendous role behind two major organizations, and you are always supporting other projects. What is your blueprint? I mean, based on the fact that you have so much of success behind your name, is there a blueprint for success? Is it connecting with people? Is it investing time with people? What is your blueprint for success looks like?
So blueprint for me will be following my project management processes. I got to practice what I preach. So that's definitely my blueprint. And I look at it more from an agile way as well, which says every 2 to 4 weeks, what is the sprint that you need to achieve? And you keep rolling with something. So it's an agile project management for life. That's my blueprint for success. You must follow something, as we see. And what do you want to achieve? How you must know what you want to achieve. Well, actually, I'm saying that, Gary, but things could change. I may say what I want to achieve today might be different from next week, and that's all right, no problem. But my blueprint for success would be to find a way to know what success means to me, because success will be different for different people. But at one point, this is what I'm looking at. Another point, this is not what I'm looking at. No problem. But I'm following my general blueprint that will get me there. I don't know what I want, I don't really know what I want as yet, but I got a blueprint that will put me somewhere. And that is the project management processes from initiation to closing. Using, again, agile work. Mm-hmm.
And I really love that you mentioned project management is your blueprint and for success. I studied project management, and I must say to the public that it's a beautiful tool. It's a beautiful tool because I believe it helps you to understand what you need to start looking at when you want to be successful. But beyond helping you to understand what you need to start looking at, it helps you to see what I would call the beginning, the end, and the center of a project. It gives you that complete view of what the project really is. So once you make a decision that this is what you want to accomplish, everything is there built into project management as a tool to help you along the way. And that's what I like about it. So I know you're also saying that anyone that wants to be successful and wants to learn your blueprint, you're also an expert in project management, and they can definitely liaise on with you to learn more about what you do and how you can help them, either in business or in life. So I like that. Shivani, let's come now to talk a little bit about Embrace Innovation. On the 29th of May, you are going to be starting a major initiative titled Embrace Innovation. That program runs from the 29th of May all the way over to the 3rd of July. Tell us what we can expect from this major event.
So, coming out of it, what you can expect or what you're going to achieve really is an innovation mindset. Of course, is to cultivate an innovative mindset, because this is something very important. How can we become more innovative? We have to really understand then what is innovation, the different types of innovation that we'll bring forward. However, in order to do innovation, you need to think as a project manager as well, right? Because as a project manager, it will give you the tools. And when we talk about innovative project management, we'll be using a lot of modern project management tools to show us, which is not the traditional way alone, which is not a traditional work breakdown structure or the Gantt chart. It's not the traditional way at all. We'll be showcasing a lot of different tools that can be used, and we'll show from our experiences. I'm joined with one of my other colleagues to do this, Herman Herbert, also an innovation expert, I would say, and strategic thinker. He's also a part of facilities management. So both of us are coming from projects and facilities management, and will be able to bring forward how innovation can be in our particular industry as well. Of course, we'll look at it from business points and look at different models. But innovation must marry project management for success to happen. You're going to have new tools. Well, when I say new tools, modern tools, I like to use the word modern tools. We'll show the Kanban board, we'll show product backlog, and different tools in Agile. A lot of different tools using the Agile project management, which is part of innovation. So to sum it up, really, you need to integrate innovation with projects. If you don't integrate innovation with projects, this is not going to happen. We are also going to show a 5-step approach, which is the design thinking, and have a great fun in how we're going to do some live projects as well, virtual live, because it's a virtual course. And this design thinking will help us to do it as well. We got a lot of fun. This is a third cohort in innovative project management. So it's a very interesting program.
Embrace innovation. Realize the competitive advantage in business. Learn to master innovation project management in 6 weeks. This training initiative will enable you to master innovation management, master design thinking for ideation, enhance workflow performance, enhance productivity, and enhance your business profitability. Register now. Contact us for more info at 868-715-7383. Presenters are Shivani Seunarine, Director of Borderlink Resource, and Caribbean Connect, Lecturer and Serial Entrepreneur, Facilities Management Practitioner, and Herman J. Hertbert, Founder, Director of Faciltech, Executive Member, Trinidad and Tobago Plumbing Association. Realize your business competitive advantage. Embrace innovation today.
Okay. Let me quickly just go through some of the benefits that the public will get from this program. One, I see that they will be able to take away and learn how to master innovation and management. So that's one thing. Second, they will learn about design thinking for ideation. That's two. They will also learn about enhanced workflow performance using your techniques, how to enhance productivity, and last but not least is how to enhance profitability of their businesses. Can we look briefly at design thinking for ideation? Can you give me one or two things that is unique about this project that they can take away?
So design thinking is a model, right? It's not a new way to think, but I mean, it's a good while now. But many persons may not know it, or even if you know it, you're not using it. I use it all the time. You can use design thinking in education to develop new curriculum. You can use design thinking in facilities management and IT in any industry in order to come about with new ideas and new products. That's what we're trying to get at, right? You want to get new products. So part of design thinking, you're going to start with empathy. You cannot design a product unless you're doing what? Unless you understand the customer needs, which is empathy. So you're going to look at empathy and you're going to get certain tools in how you can use it for certain projects. A lot of FM projects, as we said, IT business projects, how empathy is going to really assist you to come about with a good product. Because a lot of times you're designing something and what's the point in designing it if nobody wants to use it, right? You're not going to make any revenue there. So empathy is the first stage, and that we must understand how to do it. I walked in a coffee shop recently, and as I was standing up there to cash, the board that will tell me all the different drinks and the different eats, it wasn't there. It wasn't. So I'm standing up facing the cashier, Gary. And as I'm standing up facing the cashier, I'm looking now to know, well, what to order. Yes, I know I order Americano, but sometimes let me change it up. Something I know. But I don't even know what to order because I'm not seeing it in front on top. I have to ask somebody. But then when I asked the cashier, she said, turn around and you'll see it behind you, right? So I'm cashing and then I have to turn around to actually see what products you're selling for me, right? On the other side of the wall.
Yeah.
I said, but that's not design thinking. You're not thinking about me as a customer, because I'm going to come in there, not know what to buy, and I might just say Americano, and I might just leave. Another example that I have with another coffee shop, not the same coffee shop. You might say I drink a lot of coffee. As I walked out of that shop again, I had 4 cups of coffee. Yes, I was holding it with what they give you to put the coffee in, but I couldn't open the door. I couldn't even push the door, right? And I said, well, how should I get out? If I could probably throw down all of those coffee cups, because I had to push the door, with my elbow to get out. And you should have had just automatic doors or something like that. But as you might say, it's a cost. But think about if you have 100 of me not going to go back to your shop at all.
Exactly. It's whatever make the customer feels comfortable.
So it's empathy. This is empathy, which is human-centered thinking. And it must be taken for innovation in business. In business, it is there. You want to do your value map, and there's no value because you didn't do a value map. Or you just said, somebody's selling coffee and they're just going to open up a coffee business, which is so much more. And I talk about it as a business plan. You talk about it a lot too in conversations, as a business plan. But it's not a business plan, You need to do a value mapping, value stream mapping, and business canvas. The always business plan. And I went into a workshop recently, something, and I'm hearing it talking about business plan. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this curriculum needs to change. How are you all talking about business plan still? So it's content, new content, because how could somebody be innovative if you don't know these things? And that's why you will see society and organizations be just the same way. But you will also probably ask, say, what about the finance? Because this is a cost. Someone was telling me that recently too. It is a cost to do these things, Shivani. I said, but think about the cost if you don't do it. Think about the cost if you don't do it. And you could even analyze it further. I'm saying automatic doors, but it may have just been an easy push door, or give me a cup differently. There's so many cheaper ways to do it. I'm just probably giving one example. But when you sit down and you do creative problem solving, which is part of the design thinking and empathy, you're going to come about with multiple options. So it is a wonderful point,
What I like about what you're saying is that innovative thinking and design thinking, it really helps you to identify the challenges. It helps you to think ahead. It helps you to find the solution. And I think you're very much right. I think today that many persons, if even they develop the plan, the business plan, what we are seeing is that very often the plan in of itself is not implemented. And there lies the challenge, all right? Because they may have a plan to enhance customer satisfaction, but judging from your experience, if they would have had a plan, it means that it wasn't implemented, because you can either have a physical person that is there assisting you to get that door open, or you have automatic doors. Automatic doors might be a high upfront cost, but for the long term, it's going to be cheaper than hiring a person and you have weekly or monthly debt obligation to cover. So I can immediately see the significant role of design thinking for ideation, because it not only helps you to identify the problem, It helps you to think ahead. And I think that's a useful part of doing business. You don't wait until the customer complains. Perhaps you can do some testing. You can do your own experiment and come up with innovation to address certain challenges. So I really like that. But Shivani, along with everything that you would have said, I am seeing also the program. You are also part of the benefit is going to be to enhance workflow performance. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is this saying because of the ability to use innovation management, the ability to use design thinking for ideation, it is likely to enhance work performance? Can you correct me if I'm wrong in that regard?
No, very correct. You're going to have, remember, systems. You need to have systems in place in order to increase productivity. So you need to have the systems that will give you the proper workflows. And if you have the proper workflows, then you can become more innovative. Because that same example that I was given at the beginning of our convo here, where you want people now, you have little money and you want them now to think differently, right? You still have a lot of workflows that you need to do that, because I had to create new workflows in order for this kind of coaching method to happen, the result of it. If I don't do that, I'm just... So yes, an innovation system. An innovation system is just documenting certain processes that will allow innovation to happen. Because all that we are talking about, people in organization, you need to develop an innovative culture, as you know. So you could have all the processes in the world and nothing may happen, because of the culture.
Correct.
The culture. So to me, it's all about people. People are the biggest challenge here, right? So we'll discuss how to do that as well in our program. How do you build? Now, I spoke about systems because that's what a lot of persons love to hear. We love to hear systems, we love to hear structures, we love to hear processes. Of course, I'm a PM, and a PM practitioner will always talk about processes. But I will say people always trump processes in order to change. If you didn't have an innovative mindset, to make you more innovative now. So that's what I'll talk a lot about, because I have so many examples that I work with where we were not, people are very demotivated in certain situations. I've worked with different clients like that, their organizations. And what do you do then to make them come and become more innovative? It's all about people. It's all about coaching them. It's all about, hey, I'm listening to you. You are very important, and you will give me the idea to be innovative. Because at the end of the day, the people doing the work will be able to understand how to change something, get better systems, get better structures to get the outcomes better. So even though you and I, Gary, are talking about systems and structures, we need to understand it's people as well that will guide the systems. No matter what, systems could break down, but you want the people to get back up the systems, right? Even though you're talking about AI and everything, you need people. People will guide it.
Love that. All right. Can we talk a little bit about how innovation management, how your program, the major program that is going to be launched, how it can help in enhancing productivity? I know part of the benefits, part of the takeaway for your audience is that they will also be learning how Embrace Innovation 2024 can help them to enhance productivity. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Right. So again, it's different types of innovation, as we said. And to become more productive, you may have to disrupt the status quo. So we will discuss a lot about disruptive innovation, how to look at new things, total radical disruption, and give different examples. For example, you may be selling a particular product in your restaurant. And I mean, this is a small example, but it is real. You want to get you want to get more revenue, then better productivity for your people as well, because productivity is going to make more revenue. And if persons in your restaurant, now this is what you're selling, they only have to come to your restaurant, physically to your restaurant. That's all that the revenue that you're making as well. And people may not be, you're not productive. You're not productive as well, right? If you now come about with another concept, which is, hey, people love my food. Let me now package the food and sell it to anyone. You could even export it. Isn't that going to increase revenue? Isn't people now you're going to get more productivity from persons because they're going to probably get revenue more, and things are going to get better as well. So disruptive innovation, radical innovation, we'll talk about, yes, just changing some of the systems, but changing some of the systems can definitely increase productivity also, make people work more, better. Yeah, not more, but better. but better.
I love that in terms of disruptive innovation. I that tells me that a lot of research will be done. You talk a lot about that because I do believe that research can definitely lead the way in influencing new innovation that can help in so many different ways. So I can't wait for May 28th. I can't wait for May. Is May 28th or 29th? It's May 29th. May
Yes,
29th to really experience what the platform is all about. One other major takeaway from this program, you give us a hint just now, is to enhance profitability. I can already see it because once you're able to use new innovation to perhaps enhance productivity, the main fact that you're enhancing productivity, it means that you have more to sell. And the main fact that you have more to sell is more income coming in. But help me to see it from your standpoint. When we say enhance profitability, give us an insight as to how the program in of itself can help participants to learn more about enhancing profitability through the program Embrace Innovation.
So Gary, think about it, right? We talking right here. We talking virtual life. So I can
Yeah.
have you and I could design a training program which is virtual life, one content, and virtual life. We sell it on a platform, we sell it on LinkedIn. People come next week Wednesday to see us, and we make money out of it. That same content, so that's virtual life, right? That people have to come virtually to it. But we create a different system. You innovate that same course. Well, you had it face to face already. You had it face to face. So that was 1 week. Originally, I was teaching it face to face. You teaching it face to face in Ghana. I teaching it face to face in Trinidad or in Jamaica or wherever. Then we said, okay, we could make more money. Let's do virtual live, Shivani. This is what we're doing now. Next week, Wednesday, we tell everybody get hundreds of people in it. That's the second way. Third way, selling the same thing, which is known as self-paced learning, where you have a learning management system and you put up this recording and you build it into a course. Now you have to build that into a course. So I'll give you 3 examples with the same content and you're monetizing in that 3 different ways. One course, now you have to learn to build it differently because how I build it for face-to-face is different from virtual live like this, and it's definitely different from self-paced learning. So you have to know to be able to build in the different environments. Now that is innovation in training or in education, using systems, because you need systems, you need processes. Guess what? You need people too. And it will help me now to streamline some of my processes that will work better, which is better productivity, because I want people to pay faster and all of that for the course. So that's better productivity. I don't need 5 persons to come and give somebody the information. I have AI technology that I could do it. So I'm looking at all the systems, to help me. And then, of course, there's more money, better profitability, all by looking at one course and selling in that 3 different ways. That's innovation.
Wow. I really love that. I really love it. Now, what I like about what you just said is that we see this happen all the time. You might be an author, but you're only looking to generate income from the sales of books. And what I can see immediately that your program will do is help an author to say, hey, you have written the book. Why not build it out into a digital content? So you have the hard copy book, but then you also have the digital learning content. You might also say, what if you also look at incorporating a tour as another stream of income? So I really love that. So you're showing persons multiple approaches that they can use to do the same thing, but increase their disposable income by just learning how to adopt innovation and technology to drive the success and the cash flow potential of their business. That is a program I want to say that you don't want to miss. So I want to encourage my listening audience to reach out to Shivani. I'm going to put some information in the link so you can also follow up with Shivani, get in touch with Shivani to learn more about how to be part of this unique training initiative. Shivani, I want to thank you so much for spending some time with us today and to talk with us about this very unique program. And I'm looking forward to learning so much more from you about the great work that you're doing. Is there any last thoughts that you would want to share with us before we wrap up today's program?
Innovation, we want to hear about innovation. You want to be creative. There's creativity, there's innovation, but the missing piece, all of the pie that I like to say with creativity and innovation, is definitely project management. You can't do this without looking at it as a project. You need to understand the processes. Now, from this, we are evolving it into a next cohort and in something else, which is understanding the programs and benefits, a program management approach then for innovation, or how to run a portfolio of projects. So yes, I'm sharing that I myself, we don't do something in silos. It must have like a development. It's a developmental process, as we see. So there's a part 2 coming up, right? There's a part 2 coming up to this.
Coming up, okay.
Innovation project management is definitely needed to help us to become more innovative. You need systems, you need structure, you need to understand people. You need to understand. I look forward, Gary, for May 29th.
Yeah, definitely. And I just want to join you in saying to business leaders across the world, project management is vital to influence your success. I've worked with Shivani. She is a project management practitioner, a specialist. So I would definitely encourage you to get in touch with Shivani, be part of the major event coming up on May 29th. And any other support that you may need in terms of project management, definitely. I'll be dropping some links below this program. So do look at the links to get in touch with Shivani. Shivani, again, I want to thank you for taking time out to be with us today and to share with us this major event that you have coming up that can truly transform the way people do business and can really position them to significantly optimize productivity, creativity, and cash flow. So with that being said, I want to thank you again, Shivani, for being here, and we will do this again soon.
Thank you, Gary. As always, love to be around.
Embrace innovation. Realize the competitive advantage in business. Learn to master innovation project management in 6 weeks. This training initiative will enable you to master innovation management, master design thinking for ideation, enhance workflow performance, enhance productivity, and enhance your business profitability. Register now. Contact us for more info at 868-715-7383. Presenters are Shivani Seunarine, Director of Borderlink Resource, and Caribbean Connect, Lecturer and Serial Entrepreneur, Facilities Management Practitioner, and Herman J. Hertbert, Founder, Director of Faciltech, Executive Member, Trinidad and Tobago Plumbing Association. Realize your business competitive advantage. Embrace innovation today.